Ah!
Oh, no. Welcome back to Asking for Consent.
Yay! I'm Eric.
I'm Travis.
We're about to find out if she wanted him to do this.
Yeah, I would hope so. Otherwise, things are going to get real awkward in here.
She holds her smile and gives a silent nod. I guess it was an effective way to make me take the initiative for once.
Hey, grow a pair,
God.
dude. Jeez.
Oh, blindfold. And again, to my surprise, she gives the ribbon still around my head a sharp tug downwards. You cheated! Once again, I'm lost in complete blackness.
Oh, God, she's learned a new fetish, and now you're not going to be able to do it without the blindfold.
Yeah,
I told you to keep it on, didn't I?
exactly.
Don't ever do it again.
You'll lose all your power you just had.
Yeah.
That teasing edge to Lily's voice, punctuated by her breathing. She never seems to lose her ability to take control of a situation. But this time, this one time,
Hisao, what are you...
time for the sex.
You just start beating her.
I slide my hands underneath her, soft silk and skin pressing into my hands as I gently raise her body with a measure of difficulty.
She's so fat.
Throwing her out the window. Well, I wouldn't describe her as heavy. Her height makes her more than a handful to try and lift. God, lose some weight. It only takes a couple of carefully placed steps to feel the edge of her bed against my legs. My lowering of Lily onto her sheets just as gentle as when I raised her. Your bed will be more comfortable than the floor, am I right?
Always the gentleman, aren't you? I just love sleeping in a giant stain on my bed.
I quickly run my hands down Lily's long, shapely legs, their allure far from diminished without the luxury of sight, and pull off her pajama shorts and underwear from her ankle. I have no idea where those just went. Care. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. They'll be somewhere around.
Landed on Hanako's head in the doorway.
With a minimum of fuss, I shuffle down my own pajama trousers and underwear, positioning myself between her legs, or at least where I think it's between her legs.
Oh, it feels so good. That's the crook of my elbow.
Have sex with the bed. With one hand on her bed to steady myself, my right moves tentatively downwards. Whoops! My first contact with her is my palm, clumsily meeting the front of her nose.
What is she, upside down?
She
How
giggles.
do you miss that terribly?
I can't see. She giggles a little before turning her head sideways. Taking my cue, I gently cradle her cheek and use my thumb to feel the contours of her face, as she so often does with me. Just stick them in her face like a bowling ball. This would be a lot easier if she wasn't moving her face into my hand, but the feeling of her nuzzling into it is nice. I swallow to try and steady myself, take my other hand from the bed and use it to guide myself into her. As soon as I feel her warmth around me, I quickly realize just how turned on I am.
Uh-oh.
With my sight gone, I'm free to concentrate far more on my other senses, including tactile feeling. The entire experience feels more vivid, more intense than it's been before. It's halfway over. I slowly start to move my hips back and forth, my heart beating wildly in excitement. I feel Lily's eyes clenching shut, the movement of her cheek under my thumb reminding me of the gentle hold I have on the side of her face. How is she positioned right now?
She's on her back.
Okay.
It's missionary. Why?
I don't know. It's like he's touching her face.
Yeah.
Like that's a far reach.
He's just
in
taking her
certain
from behind, and
positions.
his hand is just like pushing her head
Yeah,
into the bed. I'm in control.
It's hard to stop myself from being completely overwhelmed. It's hard to think that this is what sex is usually like for her, experienced through every sense but the one I hold dearest.
Well, I mean, she's usually not penetrating someone.
Yeah, usually.
Yeah.
For her-
You never know.
From her cheek to her neck, I begin to slide my hand downwards to take in the feeling of her body. The contours of her collarbone, the light dew resting on her skin. My sense of smell is stimulated by the scent of her sweat and mine hanging in the air. Even the ambient smell, noticeably different from that of my own room, adds to the feeling.
It's Febreze. Try it sometime.
When I move my hand to her supple breast, her soft mewling fills my ears, along with the sound of our act. The skin under my hand moves back and forth with each thrust, my grip on it tightening as my lust for the near-naked body of Lilly before me grows. I can even feel her small nipple against my palm. My hand slides further, and my fingers pluck it through the thin silk of her pajama top.
Good thing you got her small nipple and not her giant one.
Her whimpering sounds turn to moans as she fills with the same pleasure as I. I can feel my heart beating loudly in my chest, and her own beating underneath my hand. I can feel her hands clasp my wrists, their grip surprisingly tight as her chest rises in overwhelming pleasure. More! I want more!
Oh, God.
I can feel my chest tightening as I rock back and forth frantically, both of us entirely taken with ourselves. Oh, no. More!
You're going to die here.
I have to have more.
It's all over.
Nothing that unusual. I just need to take deeper breaths to steady myself. Need more. This feeling is just normal.
Oh, no.
This isn't. I can't. This pain is too much. Ah!
Game over.
I stumble backwards from Lilly with unseemly haste, clumsily hitting the back of my foot against the table and falling to the ground with an unceremonious crash. Lily's just laying there. Was it as good for you as it was for me?
How are you going to explain this to the security guards here?
Breathing wildly, I frantically scrape at the ribbon over my eyes as I lay on my back. I have to get this off. I was saying the same thing about 10 seconds ago.
Right?
What in the...
It's the ceiling.
Is that her small nipple? For a moment, everything goes blank as the rush of my newfound light assaults my eyes. My breathing slows from the brink of hyperventilation. Lilly doesn't seem too concerned about all this.
No.
Seconds pass and I carefully measure out the rhythm of my heartbeats with every ounce of concentration I can muster. My heart is normal. It's back to normal. My body feels utterly bizarre as I lay dazed on the floor looking at the ceiling. The adrenaline from before is still pouring through my veins, but my mind is completely exhausted. I prop myself up as I hear Lilly getting off the bed and coming towards me. Oh, jeez!
Hisao, are you okay? Hisao?
Why are you hanging from the ceiling like a bat?
She wants the Spider-Man kiss.
I'm fine, Lilly. I'm fine. A little embarrassed. She gives a sigh of relief, her worried expression collapsing. Her face afterwards is the very last I'd ever wanted to see from her. It's a face I detested when I first saw my parents in the hospital all these months ago. Pity. Lilly pities me.
That's what you want after sex.
Death by Snu-Snu. I just
meant pity.
I just close my eyes and turn away, powerless. I feel like throwing up. I can hear the sound of Lilly moving away and quickly attending to herself. I just gotta finish.
Yeah. Left me hanging here.
The ruffling of her clothing being pulled back on after a moment of searching, just barely audible. Sorry. This has never happened before, I swear. She slowly shakes her head as she finishes buttoning up her top.
You can leave that.
Her kind smile looks so fragile, so delicate, that it makes my heart sink. Oh, ouch! Approaching carefully, she feels out the edge of the low table before taking a seat next to me, putting her arms around my chest.
Don't worry, we'll never have sex again. I'm sorry, Hisao. I shouldn't have pushed my desires onto you.
You don't need to apologize. I'd normally be fine. You've seen that much before.
Seen? No, she hasn't.
I guess I should have tried to push myself so far. My eyelids feel heavy. Calmly sitting next to her like this is probably letting the adrenaline work itself out of my system and letting my mind relax.
So that's why you never took the lead?
Yeah, that's why.
Totally.
I guess it's a good thing you like to, huh? The joke seems to lighten her expression a little, a fact which helps let me feel less unease about my unreliable self. Lily's head comes to rest on my shoulder as I struggle to keep my eyes open. With more difficulty after each blink, I feel completely drained.
It's okay, Hisao. It's all okay.
No, it's not. No sooner does she say this than a small, quiet tune escapes her lips. Entirely too tired to think, all I can do is listen to her soft humming.
I just had sex, and it feels so good.
I killed my boyfriend with my... It's a soft...
But I had a heart attack. Still counts.
Almost melancholic tune. She's humming taps. It sounds familiar, but the more I try to remember its origin, the less I seem able to concentrate. The feeling and scent of her head gently resting on my shoulder and her warm body against my side are soothing. The soft humming of her voice, too, relaxes my mind as much as her warmth relaxes my muscles. This singular quiet moment, after all this fracas, it makes me realize just how exhausted I've become. I can feel my eyelids slowly becoming heavier and heavier. Even with the chaos of before, I wish this moment would last forever. I like her lullaby. Lilly and I together, sharing a single solitary occasion together, just as we used to. But if that's the case, why does she feel further away than she's ever felt before? Ah.
Oh, God.
What just happened? That's no good.
You just died.
We're never having sex again.
Nope.
It's over.
She doesn't want to kill you.
To the library to learn how to have sex.
Yeah.
The loud clatter of books falling into the return slot abruptly breaks the grip of silence over the school library. It's becoming a habit for me to come to the library at least once a week. Not only does the reading itself keep me busy, but discussing books with Hanako and Lilly also does. Obviously startled, Yuko suddenly twists towards the direction of the noise. I'd have thought her used to people dropping books by now, since she does work here. Jeez.
Oh, hello, Hisao. Back again?
It takes me a moment to respond, my mind still distracted by the familiar melody of Lily's humming. That's hardly left my ears in the several days it's been since I fell asleep to it. Oh, yeah. Just returning some books I borrowed. How the library works, right?
This is all a dream. You're still in Lily's room.
She casts her eyes downwards, presumably to the bin of the books were dropped into.
You're a very heavy reader, aren't you?
What, am I fat?
That's hot.
It's become a bit of a routine now. Passes the time, at least.
I wish I had free time to pass.
I don't care about your problem.
I'm literally dying. Get over it.
From small talk to depression in less than 5 seconds. God, that's why we don't have sex with Yuko.
Whatever. Might cheer her up.
I think that's a new record for her. She seems a bit down in general today, even compared to normal. Considering she has to work 2 jobs just to support herself, I could see how that would take a toll on her lifestyle. Come to think of it, the pay for her job here can't be all that bad. The idea of staff in such a prestigious private school going hungry strikes me as counterintuitive. Working 2 jobs must take a lot of time. I'd probably never manage it.
You're lucky being a student. Do you think you'll be able to go to university?
Hell yeah, I have a great career in science ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna be a science man.
If she's asking, then I guess that's the expected result of having this kind of education. Private schools like this don't exactly come cheap. I guess. I have the money, I think. Is Batman rich? I don't know.
Well, no, but his friend Bruce Wayne is.
I've got plans which will require going to one, and my grades are good enough. It's more of a matter of how I'll pay to do so.
University costs so much that I'm having to work 2 jobs to afford to enter it. Paying for daily expenses, too, makes it a lot harder. If you're reading this much, though, that means you're doing well in school, right?
Interesting logical jump. The answer is no.
Yeah, it's all fiction.
Not an altogether wrong one, though. I suppose so. I didn't find any of the exams very hard, aside from maybe 1 or 2. Do you mind if I ask what studies you're pursuing in university, Yuko? Yuko appears to genuinely brighten at the question.
Anthropology.
What is that?
To be specific, I'm specializing in the history of classical era Athenian civilization and democracy. What the hell are you going to do with that?
That sounds boring.
Yeah.
She really seems to know her stuff. Such enthusiasm is to be admired, and it's nice to see her genuinely excited about something.
What can you do with that degree other than just teach that?
Maybe that's what she wants to do. raised other people to just teach it some more.
she can just be an anthropologist, I guess.
I guess even somebody like Yuko can be happy if she has a visible road ahead of her. That's good to hear. If you... Both of us jump at the sudden interruption coming from my pocket.
Ah, my pacemaker.
I'm sorry. Nobody ever calls me. I didn't even know it had a ringtone. Apologize.
Speaking of which, I don't think I could even tell you what my ringtone is. I've had my phone on silent for probably 3 years straight now.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, I never turn my phone up anymore.
Sound.
Yeah, same. And it annoys me if I hear something that's similar to it.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm out and about and I hear, like, something on the radio that has, like, the same beat, I'm like,
yeah,
oh,
right.
I don't want to wake up.
You're just, like, smacking your car.
Yeah, I'm, like, the middle of a drive, and I'm like, I don't want to get up.
Apologizing profusely and quickly shuffling into the hallway as I fumble with the cover of my mobile phone, I glance at the screen. Who will it be?
I don't know.
Me neither.
I guess we'll find
We'll
out.
find out next time, apparently.
It's going to be Batman.
Oh, here's a bunch of money.
Game over.